سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين.
Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. This is a mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon you all, brothers and sisters. Today inshallah we're going to talk about some misconceptions about our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We already answered about some misconceptions about the Prophet, but still the person who is asking us about Islam, about our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yet he don't believe that he is a prophet. He is a real prophet from God. So today, how can we prove that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a true prophet? How can we prove the prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? This is what we are going to start talking about today, inshallah. And inshallah we will have many classes in this topic, inshallah. To prove the prophethood of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we can note that by analyzing the mankind's history reveals that the outstanding people have a common pattern as far as their intellectual lives are concerned. All of them pass through various phases of maturity and development before they actually reach their peak. At the start of their scholarly lives, they adopt the ideas and concepts that prevails in the society they live. The environment around them influences their thoughts. Great people around them become their ideals, and they embark upon their intellectual journey by standing up on the shoulders of their illustrious ancestors. Consequently, Socrates and Aristotle, Abu Hanifa, Einstein, Newton, all those people reached their zenith after passing through their evolutionary process. Those who were initially influenced by the world later influenced it only after passing through a series of acceptance and rejection of thoughts and ideas. It was only after this cerebral exercise that they mentally progressed to leave indelible expressions on the sands of the time. History bears witness that among the breed of exceptional people there remained another category through which the Almighty subhanahu wa ta'ala chose to provide divine guidance to mankind. They were known as the prophets of Allah. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the last of these, and with him the institution of prophethood was ended. Without fear of contradiction, it can be safely said that the personality, as indeed the personalities of all of other prophets, in an exception to this rule of gradual development. He presented the Quran, a book without parallel. It was at the age of 40 that for the first time some verses of this book were heard from him. For the next 23 years, he content various portions of this book in different phases of his mission. During all the period he lived in the thick of things in Mecca and Medina among his family, relatives and tribesmen, his message influenced the people around him in Mecca, especially the young. The leaders of Quraysh, the tribe of our Prophet ﷺ, however, opposed him deeply. In Medina, his message received acclaim and the first Islamic state was founded there. After a series of battles, Mecca was finally subdued in the 8th year of the Prophet's immigration, and after that the whole of the Arabian island came under the way of the Islamic State. It is an undeniable fact that all the lifetime he received no formal education. Moreover, he never ever presented any thought of or idea before his society. Nothing of the sort we now read in the Quran was ever heard from him before his prophethood. In the life of fluctuating fortunes, diverse circumstances, the book presented by him was contrary to the sort of gradual development as far as thoughts and concepts are concerned. What was presented on the first day was as lofty in standards and style as that which was presented at the very end. During all this period, no revision or rejection or acceptance or refusing of the sort so evident in the thought and ideas of great people was seen. In the book condemned polytheism. In this book, in Quran, it's condemning polytheism, adultery and killing. In the very initial period, no revision was made regard at the end. Similarly, if it regarded speaking the truth, fulfilling promises and administering justice and good deeds, no change was made in this stance. Besides thought and concepts, the style and elegance of the Quranic verses are also free from any sort of evolutionary development. The whole of the Quran is a piece of literature, unmatched in every aspect. Not only the Quran free of any contradictions and contains no gradual development as far as style and thought are concerned, but the various historical and scientific facts it indicates to have never been challenged also. The Quran has stood the test of 14 centuries, 1400 years, and no one has been able to answer the challenge. It have been emulated. Consequently, the Quran itself is the greatest proof that the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No man or jinn has ever been able to produce a book like it, which is free from any contradiction and conflict. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ, would they not reflect on the Quran? وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. If it had not come from Allah, they would surely have found in it many contradictions. If the Quran is not from Allah, they will surely have found in it many contradictions. When in the 40th years of his life, the Prophet ﷺ declared his prophethood, he could muster very little support from his tribe in favor of his message. Most people in Mecca rejected his call, and only a few youth of the city accepted it. The hostility shown by the chiefs of Mecca was so severe that most people believed that it would only be a matter of days or weeks before this newly founded faith would reach disastrous end. The Prophet ﷺ and his companions were put through severe physical torture, affliction. In spite of these triumphs, with little or no hope of success, the Prophet ﷺ in this initial stages made a prediction of his success over his rivals. He proclaimed that he had not come merely to sermonize, but to decide the fate of his nation. He was talking about nation in the time that the number of the followers were few. The number of the followers was few, but he was talking about nation. He said that for considerable period of time he would try to revive the true religion of Allah by cleansing it from all alien influences, and would answer all the questions raised by the people in this regard. But once the truth, the acceptance of which is the real test for which man has been created, is revealed to them in its ultimate form, they would lose their right to live after failing in the very purpose for which they were created. He said that the nation of Noah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and those of Shu'aib sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Lut sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the people of Ad and Thamud and the Pharaoh, all were destroyed because they denied the respective prophets sent to them from Allah. And if they persist in their arrogance, they too would meet the same destiny. They would meet no different. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam was raised illiterate, unable to read or write, and remained like that till his death. Among all his people, he was known as being truthful and trustworthy. Before receiving revelation, he had no prior knowledge of religion or any previously sent message. He remained like that for his first 40 years. Revelation then came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the Quran that we now have between our hands. This Quran mentioned most of the accounts found in the previous scriptures. telling us about these events in the greatest details, and as if he witnessed them. These accounts came precisely as they were found in the Torah sent down to Moses and the Gospel sent down to Jesus alayhi salam. Neither the Jews or Christians were able to belie him regarding anything that he said. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also foretold of everything that will occur to him and his community after him, pertaining to victory, the removal of the tyrannical kingdom of Khosrus and Caesar, and the establishment of the religion of Islam throughout the earth. These events occurred exactly as Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam foretold, as if he was reading the future from an open book. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also brought an Arabic Quran that is the peak of eloquence and clarity. The Quran challenged those eloquent and fluent Arabs of his time who initially belied him to bring forth a single chapter like the Quran. The eloquent Arabs of his days were unable to contest this Quran. Indeed, till our days, none has ever dared to claim that he has been able to compose words that equal or even approach the order, grace, beauty, and splendor of the glorious Quran. The life history of this noble prophet was perfect example for being a bright, merciful, compassionate, truthful, brave, generous, distant from all evil character, and ascetic in all worldly matters, while striving solely for the reward of the hereafter in the day of judgment. Moreover, in all these actions, the dealing, he was ever mindful and fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah instilled great love for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam in the hearts of all who believed in him and met him. This love reached such a degree that any of his companions would willingly sacrifice his or her self, mother or father for him. Till today, those who believe in Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam honor and love him. Any one of those who believe in him would ransom his own family and wealth to see him, even if but once. All of history has not preserved his biography of any person in the manner it has preserved in the life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is the most influential human in the history. Nor has the entire earth known of any whom every morning and evening and many times thereafter throughout the day is thought of by those who believe in him. Upon remembering Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the believers in him will greet him and ask Allah to bless him. They do such with full hearts and true love for him. Nor has there ever been a man on earth whom is still followed in all his doings by those who believe in him. Those who believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sleep in the manner he slept, purify themselves in the manner he purified himself, and adhere to his practice in the way they eat, drink, and clothe themselves. Indeed, in all aspects of their lives, the believers in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam adhere to the teachings he spread among them and the path that he traveled upon during his life. During every generation from his day till our time, the believers in this noble Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam have fully adhered to his teachings. With some, this has reached the degree that they desire to follow and adhere to the Prophet's way in his personal matters regarding which Allah has not sought of them to adhere to and worship. For example, some will only eat the specific foods or only wear those specific garments that the messenger liked. Let alone all that, all those who believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam repeat those praises of Allah, special prayers and invocation that he would say during each of his actions, during day, at night, like what he would say when he greeted people upon entering and leaving the house, entering and leaving the mosque, entering and leaving the bathroom, going to sleep and awaking from sleep, observing the new crescent, observing the new fruit on the trees, eating, drinking, dressing, riding, traveling, and returning from travel. Let alone all that. All those who believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam fully perform even to the minute detail every act of worship, like prayer, fasting, charity, and pilgrimage, as this noble messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught and as he himself performed. All of this, always those who believe in him to live their lives in all aspects with this noble messenger as their example, as if he was standing before them sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for them to follow in all their doings. There have never been, nor will there ever be, a man anywhere upon the earth who has received such love, respect, honor, and obedience in all matters, small and large alike, as has this noble Prophet gained sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Since his day, in every region of the earth and during every period, this noble Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been followed by individuals from all races, colors, and peoples. Many of those who followed him were previously Christians or Jews, pagans, idolaters, or without any religion. Among those who choose to follow him were those who were known for their sound judgment, wisdom, reflection, and foresight. They chose to follow this noble Prophet after they witnessed the signs of his truthfulness and the evidence of his miracles. They did not choose to follow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam out of compulsion or because they had adopted the way of their fathers and mothers. Indeed, many of the followers of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam chose to follow him during the time when Islam was weak, when there were few Muslims, and when there was severe persecution of his followers on earth, most people who have followed this Prophet ﷺ have done so not to acquire some material benefits. Indeed, many of his followers have suffered the greatest form of harm and persecution as a result of following this Prophet. Despite all this harm and persecution, this did not turn them back from this religion. All of this clearly indicates to anyone possessing any sense, anyone who is possessing any sense, that this Prophet was truly and really Allah's messenger, and that he was not just a man who claimed prophethood or spoke about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without knowledge. With all this, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came with a great religion. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came with a great religion in its cradle and legal makeup. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam described Allah with qualities of complete perfection, and at the same time in a manner that is free of ascribing to him any imperfection. Neither the philosophers or the wise could ever describe Allah like such. Indeed, it's impossible to imagine that any human mind could conceive of an existing being that possesses such complete ability, knowledge, and greatness, who has subdued the creation, who has controlled everything in the universe, small or large, and who possesses such perfect mercy. Nor is it in the ability of any human being to place a perfect law based upon justice, equality, mercy, and objectivity for all human activity on earth, like the law that Muhammad ﷺ brought for all spheres of human activity, like buying and selling, marriage and divorcing, renting, testimony, custody, and all other contracts that are necessary to uphold life and civilization on earth. It is impossible that any person conceive wisdom, morals, good manners, nobleness of characters as what the Prophet ﷺ, the Honorable Prophet ﷺ, brought. In a full and complete manner, Muhammad ﷺ spread a teaching regarding character and manners toward one's parents, relatives, friends, family, humanity, animals, plants, everything around us. It's impossible for the human mind alone to grasp all of that teaching or come with a similar teaching. All of that unequivocally indicates that this messenger did not bring any of this religion from his own accord, but that was rather a teaching and inspiration that he received from the one who created the earth and the high heavens above the creation. The legal and cradle makeup of the religion that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam brought resembles the engineering, the heavens and the earth. All of that indicates that He who created the heavens and the earth is the one who sent down this great law and upright religion. The degree of inimitability of the divine law that was sent down upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is to the same degree of inimitability of the divine creation of the heavens and earth. For just as humanity cannot create this universe, in the same manner humanity cannot bring forth a law like Allah's law that He sent down upon His servant and messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So those was just some proofs of the prophethood of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And inshallah in the next classes we will talk about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Bible, in Torah and Injil, in Torah and the Gospels. And we are going to talk about some scientific miracles of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which proves his prophethood, inshallah. Inshallah, if there is any questions about what we mentioned today, inshallah, please raise your hand, and inshallah we are ready to answer your questions, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.